What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to talk about the Spyderco Schempp Bowie, designed by Ed Schempp. Ed Schempp also designed the Tough. I don't know if it's for Spyderco or based on a custom. Honestly, I don't know. But you can see some of the similar lines in that one. That's kind of where the two similarities end, is in that kind of drop shape there. This is a Bowie versus the other one is a drop point / spear point. But let's talk about this knife. This knife has a 3.75 inch blade made of S30V steel, weighs in at 4.7 ounces, and this price is at about $210. S30V is just fine steel, very common in Spyderco's repertoire. In terms of some comparison knives, I think kind of just thinking about the way it carried and use of it. There's a Bowie knife or Bowie blade that I have here, the Hinder Eclipse. Again, you got that that really fine clip point there. So that's definitely one of those that I felt was kind of a comparison. That knife comes in at $425 though as a starting price. The Squid Industries, there's a Bowie knife, has a 4.25 inch blade, or no, 4.5 inch blade, sorry. And that's a Bowie as well. That knife comes in at $265. So that would be possibly an alternative is if you wanted a butterfly knife. And then I have the Porcelain knives. This doesn't even fit on the screen, it's so big. This is actually a fixed blade with W2 steel. It's an Arkansas toothpick design. And this is kind of the true quintessential Bowie blade that you're talking about here, that this one is kind of paying homage to, of course, with in a folder, much smaller size as well, and using modern materials. But that would be kind of a true comparison there. In terms of some other knives that I think, the knife that I really felt that it kind of carried and the use case was very similar for me. It has fairly thin blade stock, and that's the Spyderco Native Chief. And this one, again, has just a 1/4 inch longer blade, 4 inch blade. But again, it's relatively thin stock. And the use case was very similar, both very pokey at the end, that sort of thing. So that might be an alternative, truly, especially in this price range, that one might consider if instead of this particular one. And that price is at about $175 for that one. So let's talk about the pros and cons of this knife. It has very thin blade stock. I measured it at 0.10, so this is very thin. And it has a nice little swedge on the top there where the clip point comes, which is very common with a Bowie. And so this thing you probably don't want to be dropping on concrete because it's fairly thin at the tip, fairly dainty, but it makes for great slicing. Let me go ahead and bring out my old live slice test. A cork is kind of a good test for something's slicing capability. How thin can you get it? You kind of think about like the old tomato test. And a cork, for me, I found is actually pretty good for that, and definitely does well. This has great Taichung Taiwan fit and finish. So let's go through the knife a little bit. There's a great dovetail where the brass bolster meets the carbon fiber and G10 overlay there. The back spacer is, you almost can't even tell there's that it's separately a separate piece of steel, but it's fantastic. So I mean, the fit and finish is just really fantastic. Everything they did, you've got nice chamfering on these edges for comfort. Yeah, so everything you've come to expect from the Taichung Taiwan is really good. So some of the ergo positions are great. I found out that the choked up hammer position like this was great, and I'll go ahead and intercut in some cutting that I did here. And that was a good one. And then also the regular position back in a saber grind where your thumb comes up on this nice little ramp for one of the bolsters that acts as a guard. That's also a very comfortable position. We'll get to some uncomfortable ones a little bit later. Again, this is a great homage to a great knife, the Bowie knife, I think it was Jim Bowie, way back in the day. And so I think they did a lot of great things. Actually, they used one of my favorite clips here. I do prefer the rounded one, but at least it does have the deep carry and the wire clip. The wire clip's definitely my favorite ones from Spyderco. This knife is extremely ambidextrous, pretty fidgety capable. You know, in terms of left-handedness, the compression lock definitely favors righties a little bit, but a liner lock, you know, is truly left-handed. So you can really, this one, fully ambidextrous. You know, you just have to move that pocket clip over, which they do provide for the capability. So that's a great thing as well. On the con side, the choice, this is one of those blades, normally I don't mind the peel ply over G10 that Spyderco utilizes, but in this case it does kind of bother me because you have these beautiful brass bolsters that are very smooth, and this blade is going to be relying on the shape, you know, of it and in your hand to not slip out. It's not like this texturing that is on here is going to be the difference of this thing not slipping. But what they could have done is to really make this beautiful, and I'll go ahead and bring it out, is they could have made this smooth, an actual smooth carbon fiber, just like the Capara. So if you kind of imagine the Capara carbon fiber, you know, going in with that great dovetail into the smooth carbon fiber, it would actually be beautiful. This would have been just an absolute marvelous choice. So I think that was kind of they kind of missed it there. You know, some of the ergos are not so good. The ergo that was not so good was the saber position, you know, where you're going over this bolster here. That definitely is not the most comfortable when you're cutting. After just a few cuts, you know, that bolster starts to dig into your thumb. So that would be one of the ergo positions that's really kind of not great. You know, so that's kind of it. The full flat grind, I'm not going to, they call this a full flat grind, but it is the flat grind for just the first half there. The grind does not go up, obviously, all the way here. And it's just weird. Number one, this is one of those few Spyderco knives that you're going to see. It has basically two flat surfaces against the Spidey hole. So it just looks a little weird and odd. You know, go look at your other Spyderco knives if you have some, and you'll notice that normally it just cuts straight through all the way, and you'll just have one cut through direction, and then you'll have one flat. This one has two flats against that Spidey hole. So it just looks a little bit odd, certainly. You know, and kind of funny as far as that goes. You know, so, you know, this thing is a nice slicer. This is not a chopper, by the way. Oh, yeah, that's one of the negatives. I'll go ahead and intercut that in, but... yeah, this is definitely it's interesting. At 4.7 ounces, it's not really a light knife, but it's not really a heavy knife. And that bolster doesn't provide any sort of advantage for chopping. You know, it's just, this one actually just cut through wood because it's so thin and slicey much better than the time it would take to kind of chop on that. But I'll intercut that as well in here. So not a great chopper. Overall though, what I would say is if you like the odd looking designs from Spyderco, you know, that really kind of support some of the designers out there. And I'll bring up some other examples. This is from their ethnic series, and of course this is for the American Bowie. But like there's the Watu, again, Taichung, Taiwan, has the peel ply, very good fit and finish. You know, that's kind of an interesting looking knife. You know, there is the Capara, I already brought that out. So again, kind of weird looking knife, very comfortable in the hand. These are all very comfortable, very great user knives if you carry them. And then the kind of last one that I thought was also kind of very odd was the Canis. That one. So you can see some similarities here. You know, they're supporting you know, the ethnic series, you know, to try to bring in different cultures, if you will, to the knives, to the knife carrying community. And you know, for me, I kind of like it. I like it a lot. If you don't like these other models, you may not like this one. You know, like I said, it's nice, thin, and slicey, and cuts well, but you're carrying a little bit heavier knife at 4.7 ounces. So I think that's going to probably going to determine for you if you really kind of like this or not, as if you kind of like these. So I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and have a great day. Take care now.